Welcome to my channel. I'm Moon Sparkle, and I'm here to do my Vow of Celibacy update. This is my 14-month update towards my 3-year vow of celibacy. I'm going to give my spiel. I had decided after a relationship to be celibate, to take time to heal, reflect, because I realized that is something I had not done in all the relationships I had. And when I say all the relationships I had been married twice. One time for 11 years, another time for less than a year, and I was just relationship hopping. So I wanted to definitely take time to heal. It was during that time of being celibate that I came across that you can take a vow of celibacy, so you could be celibate with an intention. And so I decided to take a 3-year vow of celibacy just for, I decided to take a 3-year vow of celibacy for healing, for personal growth and spirit, and to build my spiritual gifts. I had decided to make it 3 years because 3 is a very significant number. And I had decided to take a vow of celibacy in regards of healing, to heal past, present, and future, to heal me presently now, to heal little Bridget, to heal future me, to heal past, present, future generations. I had opened up the vow of celibacy as far as healing to those who experience different abuses: physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, social, emotional abuse, just anyone who had received abuses. At first, the vow of celibacy was only open up to women. Then I opened up to women and children. Then I opened it up to everyone. And then just in my second year, entering my second year, I opened the vow of celibacy up to people who were the abuser, because I realized the part that I played and the people who I abused. So that's for healing. As far as personal growth, I wanted to see be the best me, the best version of myself as far as like personal growth goes. And then spiritual gifts, I realized that I have spiritual gifts and I wanted to grow and invest in my spiritual gifts. So that is the little spill on the 3-year vow of celibacy. Outside of my vow of celibacy, this month, April, have been celibate for 2 years. I love to count the time in which I initially made that decision, because that was still all intentional to bring about healing. So 2 years outside of the vow of celibacy that I have been celibate. And in my vow of celibacy, I have been celibate for 14 months. And I want to sit with that for a moment and honor myself for making that commitment to myself, and the discipline that it takes, and the consistency that it takes, and everything that I am building in this space. I'm building things that I can't even see. So I honor myself for that strength that it takes. So that is the vow of celibacy. What is happening right now? What's happening right now is that I am single, whole, and holy. Let's get this right. I am stepping into wearing white. I still love my black. I want to touch on that briefly. I love black for all the reasons and why I love black. My skin, that black is protective. I love black. But what I recently learned about white, because I'm in school and we just entered learning about Kundalini, that when you wear white, it kind of extends your auric field so you can touch more people. So that's exciting about wearing white. I was also liking wearing white for purity and things like that, but learning a new meaning for white is great. Single. I am not desiring to be in a relationship. I know my first year I was. My second year I am not. What I was desiring, I have now received, and that's just having communication with people and having a community that I feel embraced in. I found that on the spiritual path, a lot of people are saying a lot of words that are similar words, but it definitely means something different to them than it means to me. And going to my school, Elderflower Mystery School, aka Elderflower Mastery School, we are all learning the same like core information. So when we're having conversations, our words can all align, and I know what they're talking about and they know what I'm talking about. So that feels good to actually have a community to be a part of, because spirituality is different for everybody. Everybody have their own stuff. So I'm gonna just leave that alone. So everybody who's on that path, we are all on different paths. That's what I feel like the Bible meant when it said straight and narrow. We're all on our own path. We're walking it alone. So there's some commonalities, but there's some things that'll be different. So I have people that I can talk to. Little Bridget is healed. That's what's new. All of that came through me reparenting her March of 2020. I had received Reiki for the first time, and I didn't tell my Reiki healer what I was working on, but she seen Little Bridget, and that is what I was working on. And so she was able to give me information to help me reparent Little Bridget, and I have been reparenting Little Bridget. Little Bridget, I now can channel Little Bridget. She's always been there. A lot of times in my past relationships, people were talking or dealing with Little Bridget. But I now hold space for her, and I channel Little Bridget, so she is healed. And all of that came from me reparenting her. That came from the school. Our first month, we're learning about ancestry, our roots. And so we were learning about blood ancestry, plant ancestry, and cosmic ancestry. And we had a ceremony at the end of that module, or that whole lesson, the ancestry. And we received Reiki attunement, and it was during that process that Little Bridget was healed. And also with the support of people in the school, Little Bridget was healed. And so what Little Bridget being healed looks like, yes, I'm still going to channel her. I'm still going to support her. But because of what happened to her as a child, she was stunted in certain areas of life and how she dealt with certain situations. So now we're just exploring what that looks like. And Little Bridget being healed, she's healed in the root chakra and the sacral chakra. So now we have to just look at stories and stuff that we were holding on, and behaviors and actions that we were holding on. And now that we are healed, we can move forward and break all those cycles. So that's extremely important to me. I love Little Bridget. I still do like readings on her. I still channel her. I still do an inner child reparenting update on her. And on those videos, that's when I'm channeling Little Bridget. What else is new? It still blows my mind that I quit my government job after 11 years. It blows my mind because I look at how much more successful I am now that I have quit that job. And I say quit, I gave a 2-week notice, but I more so quit. So that's happening. That happened. Should I say this? Yep, it's my blog. They still owe me, but it's okay. In due time, it will all that energy will be cleared out. I do understand we are in a pandemic and some things are held up. So that's fine. But what I will say, now I'm speaking to my personal growth. So when I just talked about Little Bridget, I was speaking to the healing that has taken place in this 3-year vow of celibacy. Now I'm going to speak to my personal growth. Quitting that job freed up more time for myself. I didn't know what it would look like leaving that job and creating a space for myself. That job held such a routine, and it held so much of what I thought was me, or the old me, that when I left, I had to really fall back on my discipline. And I have been practicing discipline over the last year right before I quit, but I had to really tap into all of that discipline I had created for myself. So I had to see what my spiritual practice is. That's meditation, that's my prayer, that's my journaling, that's all my rising work. I had to see what that looked like outside of a job. I now work for myself. I do Instacart and DoorDash. I think that is amazing, Instacart and DoorDash, because all the money, you get your money all up front. You make as much as you want. You can make $150 to $200 a day, and I'm sure people reach for more than that. And you just have to be very disciplined with your money. And all of that money goes back into me investing in myself. So like when I worked a job, it was ridiculous how I made, $26 an hour. and half of that was eaten up in taxes. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was only bringing home $1,400 every 2 weeks, and my rent, I'm gonna be extra with y'all, is over $2,000. So it just was really ridiculous to have to survive and deal with so much you're dealing with, and finding space to be grateful when you're not being paid your worth. And so leaving that job, I have received, that was personal growth right there. A lot of people wouldn't see that as that's me stepping out on faith, and that's me investing in myself because of the pandemic. So when you make moves, I'm very in my head a lot, and I have to use it as my strength, and I combine that with my gifts, and so I see the way that I need to move. And so with the way, like, we had like jobs, I guess, kind of like that when people were doing Amazon and people were doing Lyft and Uber and stuff like that. But now with the Instacarting and the DoorDash, you are helping out people who don't feel safe to leave the house. You work when you want to work. You make the amount of money you want to make, and you are just you. And it's my own business. One thing, like, because I did Lyft before in the past, that's my own business. I made sure my car was clean. I made sure I offered snacks. So now with Instacart and DoorDash, it's my own business, and that's how I treat it. And it's nice. It's definitely nice. I will say that when I was working that job, and my daughter and I moved into this space, because that was a part of the personal growth that happened, she was helping pay a portion of the rent. Now, in this space, this is all me. I pay all the rent. I pay all my bills. All my stuff is on time. When I was working a job, I was calling folks up, hey, can I pay this bill on this day? None of that's happening. None of that is happening. Plus, I am in school, and I'm paying for that out of pocket. And I say all of that from a very confident place and a very self-love place. I am living in such abundance that I am able to give to everyone around me. And when I was working a job, I could barely afford to do the stuff that the job was asking me to do. If there was a Christmas party at the job, I could barely afford to get them gifts. I'm now living from a place where I can give to everyone around me. So I am living in abundance, because abundance is not just financial in the place that you live, but I am living from a very vibrational, abundant place. And that is my personal growth. And my personal growth lies in self-love. I just recently learned that a lot of people who may be triggered by my self-love and might look at it like ego or narcissism, no, I'm tapped into the truest form of love, which is self-love. And that everything I'm giving is from the most purest place that I have to give. So I feel very confident about my personal growth, and I speak very differently about that. So I'm doing amazing. And now all the money that I'm making, I'm able to invest in myself and in my brand and in everything that is me. That means my family. That means my Yaya boys. That means promoting videos. That means having time to create. That means more sleep. That means more meditation. That means just being the best me. That's what I'm able to do in this space of personal growth. Now I'm going to speak on spiritual gifts. I attend Elderflower Mystery School. It is the first year of this school, and I will say that I did a lot of these practices on my own, and now it feels good to have a community to do these practices with. It feels really good, and that's what I'm gonna say about like my spiritual gifts. I am sitting and embracing my spiritual gifts. I'm no longer trying to prove them. I'm no longer trying to say where they're coming from. I'm just sitting and embracing them right now. I'm just enjoying the gifts that I have been blessed with in this lifetime. I don't think I have anything else to add. That is my update towards my 3-year vow of celibacy. This is month 14. I am excited about how much more I will grow. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't, please click like. If you haven't and you would like to leave a comment, I encourage you to leave a comment. And if you haven't, I encourage you to subscribe. So thank you.